It's time to pull those belts tight, race fans. The front stretch is coming at you, presented by Joe's Karting in Council Bluffs. Now, here's Dan Taylor and Dirk Houston.
Race fans, and welcome to the front stretch presented by Joe's Karting at Council Bluffs, online at joeskarting.com. Karting with a K, fast-paced white-knuckle racing where the only speed restriction is how well you're able to work them brakes with the new eco-friendly Honda engines. Makes everything a little bit more equal with those governors set at a certain RPM. But trust me, you're still going to be rolling through the corners. And it's about as fast as you can get it, but it all lands on your shoulders. It puts the racing action back in the driver's hands. Joining us on the front stretch this morning to kick off a stellar show, Michael Rigsby of DirtOnDirt.com. Michael, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. How are you guys?
Oh, we are loving talking a little dirt racing and previewing the Silver Dollar Nationals, the 5th annual Silver Dollar Nationals at I-80 Speedway. I wanted to talk to you this morning because you're going to be the streaming broadcast partner for the Silver Dollar Nationals. For those that can't get out to the racetrack on either Friday or Saturday, they can go to DirtOnDirt.com and pick up your service. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, that's actually the third straight year that we've streamed the event live on DirtOnDirt.com. It's been great to work with Joe and Lisa and the entire Kaczynski family and everybody out there. I've been to all 5 Silver Dollar Nationals. This will be the third time we've streamed it now. It's really become one of the top 10 to top 12 dirt late model events in the entire country. The unique format with no qualifying. And as racy as I-80 gets right in the middle of the summer, it really has become one of the 10 to 15 best dirt late model races in the country. And for the third straight year, we'll be providing live coverage both nights, Thursday and Friday, of every single lap, multiple camera angles, instant replay, driver interviews, segments, everything you kind of come to expect from a DirtOnDirt.com pay-per-view. You'll be getting that weekend in July.
Any pre-race shows, getting you prepped for it, interviews, that kind of stuff?
As far as on the grounds, you're saying that weekend, or just leading up to the event in general?
Let's say a little of both.
On the website, actually, yeah, we have on the website what we do video, we call video casting every week, where we call a driver up or a track owner or promoter, and we preview a particular event. And we'll do that, of course, the week of the Silver Dollar Nationals. We'll have on 2 or 3 drivers that week on the website talking about the Silver Dollar Nationals, talking about the pay-per-view. As far as at the event itself goes, if hot laps are typically around 7 o'clock each night, we go live about 6:45 with James Essex and Ben Shelton, who's actually the voice of the World of Outlaws, James Essex, the voice of Lucas Oil. Those guys will do a little 15-minute pre-race show right at the top of the steps every single night.
And that kicks off Friday, July 17th and Saturday, July 18th. Talk about the packages that are available for fans.
Yeah, there's a couple of ways you can order. If you're a DirtOnDirt.com subscriber, you get a $6 discount on the package. It's $39.95 instead of $45.95 for the entire weekend. Or you can order day by day. It's $25 a night, $25 if you just wanted to watch Friday, $25 if you just wanted to watch Saturday. So obviously, if you knew you were going to watch them both, you definitely want to order the package and save a little bit of money. And you just head right to DirtOnDirt.com. In the upper right-hand corner of the website at Dirt on Dirt, you've got where it says Order Live Video, a really bright red letters. And, of course, on the week of the event, it'll be all over the homepage. You will not be able to miss it. Everywhere on the homepage, it'll say, order here, order here. It'll be everywhere. So just head to the website itself, DirtOnDirt.com, and you can go ahead and order your live package for the Silver Dollar Nationals out at I-80.
I'm kind of laughing to myself here because just before we went on the air, I said, okay, now where do I click? And you go, the Order Live Now button. You made it too obvious for me.
It's not always easy to see if you're not familiar with the website. It should be, but once we get people to the website, they usually have no problem finding it whatsoever. So,
And let's talk about, if I'm going to be there Friday, but I can't be there Saturday, there is individual day packages prices, so that way I don't miss out on any of the action.
Totally correct. If you're like, man, I can only be there one night, you can order each night individual at $24.95, like we said. You don't miss anything by only having to be there one night. You can order in Friday night. Let's be honest, the Silver Dollar Nationals is one of the coolest nights out there because they have the twin set of heat races, usually about 10 heats, which is unbelievably cool. So, like you said, you can order individual nights. You don't have to worry about missing out by just ordering a weekend package.
And what about system requirements? I'm kind of a geek, so I got to make sure my computer is up to par and can stream this. Do I need a big, fast computer, a fast laptop, anything like that?
Well, like we tell everybody, we always recommend the faster, the quicker, the better, obviously. But no, you don't have to have some blazing fast system to do it. 2.5 download speed or better, which nowadays, really, if you don't have 2.5 or better, you're either living in a bad area or you need to call your internet provider to get a better download speed than that. 2.5 download speed or better A simple way for the folks at home to test that, just head to speedtest.net, hit begin test, and it'll tell you right there what your download speed is. So that's one way, one step you guys can take. The users can make sure they've got enough. We always recommend Chrome or Mozilla Firefox. Internet Explorer, I know a lot of users use out there, but Internet Explorer is not typically the friendliest thing for video in general, be it YouTube, Facebook video, or anything. So we always tell folks to use Chrome or Firefox, but they can use anything.
I absolutely hate Internet Explorer. It just, I mean,
wasn't going to go that far.
Oh.
I wasn't going to go that far, but Internet Explorer really does stink. Yeah,
it really is amazing how somebody like Microsoft, who has been doing computers and internet for so long, can have an internet browser that is so bad.
Well, again, Dan, I'm trying to go light. You're doing all the heavy lifting for me because I hate IE also, but I'm trying not to go too far. But yes, Internet Explorer is terrible, and it just is never good for streaming. Not that it's never good for streaming. We have tons of users that use it and never have problems. But typically, if I get, I'm having a problem with the video, okay, switch over to Chrome, done, fixes it immediately, typically. Yeah. So whether it's the cache or the cookies or how it's storing things, it can be a nightmare for sure.
I run a computer program. It's a part-time computer repair company and an upgrade company, and the first thing people tell me is my computer's slow. What can I do? I say, get rid of Internet Explorer. Your computer will speed up. And it's amazing. They're like, oh my God, it was free and it's a lot faster. Anyways, we're getting off the subject. We're getting diverted here from the subject a little bit. My geeky aggression is coming out on the show. We're talking with Michael Rigsby of DirtOnDirt.com. A great service you guys provide, and maybe it's not something that's very tactful to talk about, but something I do appreciate you guys do offer, and it's a profit sharing with the track, because I always felt guilty when I was purchasing your guys' service that the track wasn't going to get any money because they were losing out on my ticket, and Dirt on Dirt was getting all the money, but you guys do profit share with the tracks.
Oh, absolutely. We would never even dream of doing a pay-per-view. We've been doing pay-per-views for 6 years now, and we would never even dream of doing one without the track getting a certain percentage of the revenue. We obviously pay a very handsome share to the racetrack. In essence, sort of broadcast rights to come in there and broadcast it. They, depending on how much money we make, they make based on that as well. So the more we sell, the more they make. And we've never not been back to an event. We always have great relationships with our promoters. 100%. Joe's one of the best ones out there to work with about understanding the cost of these. And that's one thing about these pay-per-views is people think, oh, my God, is US just making hundreds of thousands of dollars? We live in a small world. Their track racings are really small. People forget how small it actually is. So, yes, 100% we do good on these pay-per-views, but they're not some, we'd have a satellite truck with 20 antennas on it if we were doing as many as people thought we were. But yes, 100% to answer your question, the racetracks always get a profit share of what we make.
Hey, Mike, how many different cameras are you going to have set up at the track?
We'll have the Silver Dollar Nationals is a 4-camera shoot, three of which are manned cameras and one of which is a speed shot cam. It kind of falls in that time of the year right in the heat of the busy season where, if it was January or February, we would have a 7 or 8 camera shoot out there. But Silver Dollar Nationals is a 4-camera shoot, 3 man cameras with 1 pit reporter, instant replay, and multiple announcers.
It's probably a pretty easy answer for you, but the USMTS races those will also be covered, right? It's not just going to be the Lucas Oil coverage.
Absolutely, and the USMTS has been a kind of a great partner for us for that event. Working with Todd Staley and his bunch is also awesome. And, every single lap of anything that hits the racetrack will be covered, yes.
DirtOnDirt.com, up in the left-hand corner. The upper right-hand corner, order live video. That's the button you can click. Order in advance. Make sure that you're not going to miss an action of the Silver Dollar Nationals. If you can't be there in person, do the next best thing. Stream it from your computer or from your smartphone. Michael Rigsby of DirtOnDirt.com. Man, we appreciate your time.
Yeah, anytime, guys. Thanks. I look forward to seeing you guys out there in July.
I look forward to it, too. Have a good one, bud.
Thanks, Michael.
Yeah, you too.
So again, DirtOnDirt.com. You can't get any more simple with, and even though I say it, I'm the idiot that couldn't find it when I was trying to find it. Upper right-hand corner, red lettering, order live video. DirtOnDirt.com. They have an absolutely fantastic website. They're one of the best that cover dirt, and you really can't get any better than them.
And get rid of your Internet Explorer.
Oh, my God. Serenity now. Okay. Here's a funny story for you. Last week, we scheduled a driver to join us on the show, and he didn't.
Flying Ryan Gustin.
This week, we scheduled a driver to join us on the show, and he didn't.
Flying Ryan Gustin.
So, on Friday, I got his car owner and you, and all 3 of us stuck him into a corner. I shoved a microphone in his face, and we will have Ryan Gustin on the show next weekend. I promise. I shouldn't say I promise because I still have to wait for the driver to come through. And I don't want to talk bad about Ryan, but I'll just tell you, there's another driver that we're having to join the show next to fill in for Ryan. The guy's won probably somewhere around 600 late model races. He's won 6 World 100 championships, 4 or 5 Lucas Oil late model championships. He's kind of a big deal. I emailed him for an interview request, and 10 minutes later, he was confirmed. And by the way, he's joining us next hour, or next turn. So, I'm not saying, but drivers, a part of being in this sport, and a part of modern sports, is marketing, is taking care of your sponsors, media obligations. When somebody calls you for an interview, I realize we're in Omaha, Nebraska. We're not a big deal. But
Except you're going to be here twice in the next month.
I'll say it again. One of the winningest late model drivers of all time has netched out 20 minutes for us. A guy from Marshalltown, Iowa should be able to find a few minutes to talk to us. Anyways, I apologize that I've been saying it for 2 weeks that Ryan Gustin's going to be on the show. We're trying our best. We're going to continue to try, and we'll do our best to have him on next weekend. Scott Bloomquist will join us just around the corner here on the Front Stretch. This is the Front Stretch presented by Joe's Karting on AM 590, Omaha's ESPN Radio.
Joe's Karting in Council Bluffs has taken a page out of IMCA's rulebook and gone crate. These brand new low-emission engines will still have you white-knuckling it all through the Metro's fastest indoor facility. Joe's Karting is now friendly for all skill levels with their brand new Honda-powered engines. It's time to get to Joe's today and find out what drivers like Jack Dover, Shaylee Bate, and Andrew Kosiski have known for years. Located in Council Bluffs and online at joeskarting.com. That's karting with a K.
This is Andrew from Kosiski Auto Parts. Kosiski Auto Parts is an insurance-quality used parts supplier that can match your foreign or domestic car or truck needs. If you have a damaged or broke-down car or truck, we guarantee a clean and quality part in next-day fashion. Kosiski Auto Parts, your neighborhood premium recycled parts supplier. Call any Kosiski Auto Parts salesman today by dialing 402-731-4592 or visit us at 5040 I Street in Omaha. Kosiski Auto Parts, our quality used parts will match your car or truck's needs.
We're hooked up in turn
Heading
2
into turn
and
number
still
2,
showing the
brought to you
green
by
flag on
Kosiski
the
Auto
front
Parts
stretch.
at Kosiski.com, 51st and I Street, and 402-731-4592. Joining us on the phone for this year's Prepping You for the Silver Dollar Nationals, it is the defending champion of the Silver Dollar Nationals, Mr. Scott Bloomquist. How you doing tonight, sir?
Pretty good. Getting ready to go up to a firecracker race up at Lernerville, Pennsylvania. Just looking on our cars and trying to get a little faster.
Always trying to get a little bit faster, even though you seem to be having a pretty good year so far with several wins under your belt already.
Yeah, we have. It's been a decent year, but we feel like we've gotten just a little bit behind. We're running about the same as what we had been, and maybe a little bit better, but there's a couple of guys that have picked it up a little bit over the winter and have been working hard, and it just puts everybody back to work.
How fast does that change? Just when you think you've got it and you're on top of it, how quickly does it change from you're on top to these guys are beating you again?
Well, it's not like we've had too many seconds. Basically, is what I'm gonna say. We're right there. We're still. Got the rest of the field covered pretty good, and we just have to go to work and find a little more. So, there's some things that I worked on in the past that I kind of shelved, and I dug them back out, and that's what we're working on. You always got to have those things. I've got probably 8 or 10 projects going all the time, and I believe we're on the right track here. I think we'll be back on top soon.
Speaking of that, do you kind of feel like you're still at the top of your game, or is maybe Father Time kind of catching up with you a little bit?
Well, I'm on the top of my game, and as far as driving, and as far as technology and race car stuff. We're still kind of a one-man band, and one good thing about that is when you do get some advantages, you get to keep them. But in the bigger picture, we've got a lot of guys working together that try to outrun you. And that's the way it's always worked. Anytime somebody gets on top, somebody else comes along and shares everything they can with the rest of the team. And then get everybody sharing all information together and trying to take you down in case they get it done.
Well, it's definitely not a sport.
It's to work again.
Definitely not a sport you can get complacent in, because that next Billy Moyer Jr. or that next Scott Bloomquist might be at that track you show up at next.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like you said, and that's one reason I love this sport. It's something you can't conquer.
Hey, if it wasn't for dirt racing, what do you think you'd be doing?
Boy, that's a good one. I really ain't sure. I'd probably something you can be creative. You know, I really enjoy the building race cars and designing things, and as long as I'm in something that I can be creative, which I'm not sure what that would be, because at the time I was in California when I started this, and do a little bit of surfing, and I'd be a surf bum, actually.
I think I could see you as a surf bum.
Yeah, me too.
Scott, what would you say?
That wouldn't upset me by any means. I think there'd be worse things to do.
Yeah, no kidding.
Scott, what would you say today to the 16-year-old Scott Bloomquist who is just starting his career?
God help you.
God help you?
I predicted you were going to say stay in school.
Yeah, that's it. Stay in school. Buy some books. Stay in school. It's definitely not getting any easier. And, again, the technology that's coming into it, it's kind of getting close, I'm afraid, to taking a swing like NASCAR did. And, computer technology and data and, things. It's not, it won't be long. It won't necessarily be as much about a feel for a race car and what you do in your garage at night. It'll be about, the people you line up with and the technology and cubic dollars. And, it's just kind of a shame, but it's just evolution. It's going to be that way. I'm sure. I can see it coming.
If you were starting racing today, do you think you would have the same success that you've had in your career?
Well, yeah, and I think if I was doing anything, whatever I decided to do, if you put this much time and dedication and energy into anything, you're going to be successful. So, that's the thing that you don't see. I don't believe in today's younger people. What they're willing to sacrifice in their personal lives, and sacrifice in being 100% all in and dedicate all your thoughts and energy to something. In today's world, with all the phones and the distractions, and I was fortunate to end up moving where I did and to being out country, kind of, and not having any distractions, and just being able to focus 100% on racing. And I didn't let anything really distract me. There were probably plenty of opportunities that I could have, but I didn't. And that's going to be probably the biggest struggle for anyone young coming up. I don't think that too many really know what it takes and get down in it, deep enough to. You need to understand everything about these cars and just dedicate your life to them, because no matter how good a driver you could be or that you are, you're not going to overcome an ill-handled race car.
Yeah, it's almost amazing when you hear some of the stories about what these parents give up and sacrifice and everything, so their 11-year-old can jump into a late model and try and pursue his NASCAR career. Man, they spend a lot of money.
And you don't hear about the kids sacrificing much, do you?
Exactly.
Oh, and it really does blow me away the amount of time that an 11-year-old, 10-year-old kid has to spend or to be successful, spend on the car and not have much of a life.
Yeah. Well, you're not going to have much of a life. And even once you make it, you still aren't going to have much of a life. Now, if you make it to NASCAR, you might end up in a situation that, you've got a team that's strong enough, and that you might have some personal time because you're not the one working on the car too, but it might be I've always done most of the designing and work, and and it's hard to find good help, and our sport doesn't afford you to pay people what they possibly could be worth. And you find you'll race all season just to pay everyone else, and at the end of the year, there's none left for you or your family. So it's just not the easy route. People ask me all the time, so you're gonna put your daughter in a car? are you kidding me? That's the last thing on the planet I would put her in.
Are you gonna try to avert her from this career?
Oh, absolutely. I think I'm pretty fortunate. I think that she's not showing too much interest in it. so she's 100% girl, and it's fine with me.
We're talking with Scott Bloomquist, who's going to be coming back July 17th and 18th for the Silver Dollar Nationals. You can get your tickets now, I-80 Speedway.com. Click on the schedule, and there's a buy tickets right next to it. Scott, on your website, your bio says your most memorable moment is the 1998 World 100. Your most forgettable moment is the 2005 World 100. I'm sorry, I got to bring it up, but is this year's World 100 your newest forgettable moment?
Yeah, it was a dream. The World 100 is in September, but the dream this year's dream was definitely a shattering moment, especially when we got home from the race and I put on my fire suit, grabbed my helmet and shoes, everything I had on, and put it on the scales, and I made weight and in my shop. So, I really, I'm just going to say it's not quite over yet. And I'm not really going to get into any details, but there's a lot of things a lot of racetracks do that are not really fair to the competitors, and really by law you're supposed to have the state certify your scales if it has anything to do with exchange of money, and it's by law required. The state has to come in and certify your scales. So that's never been anything anyone's ever done. I know there's a lot of variation, fluctuation all weekend with the scales, and for whatever reason, it happened to me. And the bottom line, something like that happens for that kind of money. A car should have been impounded and taken to a certified scale with me, and it done proper, like what the laws require. Things are done. So we're just kind of hanging loose right now, and I'm waiting on some information back from some sources, but overall, absolutely disappointing. It's not to mention the financial setback that it brings. And I tell people all the time, you see that commercial, that motorcycle going down the road with $100 bills flying off of it. That's kind of what I feel like a lot of times. Just windows are down, $100 bills are flying out.
Well,
never had quite that many fly out at once. So.
Well, and Dirk said it best. It doesn't matter if you're someone that's so successful as Scott Bloomquist or you're a struggling weekly racer. $100,000 is a lot of freaking money to lose on 25 pounds.
Well, it was 23 pounds, and there's not a scale that the state certifies across the whole state of Ohio that doesn't have to give 1%. Most of them 2% tolerance. But again, they weren't even certified by the state. So I just think, I'm just kind of hanging loose, taking it one step at a time. I think you got to look at. I'm just looking at the future. Some young person it can make or break. It's not going to make or break my career, my bank account a little bit, but not my career. And somebody young coming up and trying to get to that, cup, or trying to get to anything in racing. And then all the advertising my sponsors missed out on, including myself and me and Maddie Sweet with our race cars, and just all of the things that come with it. Again, the reason that the state gives those tolerances is for a reason. And again, by law, the racetracks are required to have the state come and certify their scales, and that has to do with exchange of money. Even if you sell a bag of beans at the flea marts, or if you're selling produce anywhere, they come through and they certify everything if it's legal. And there'll be stamp, decal, whatever. There'll be paperwork on it. But I know that they weren't, and we're just disappointed, and we're just kind of hanging loose on that right now. But
we'll let it settle and let that scab kind of heal over as we move on and get ready for defending your championship. Do you think you have? You're defending your title for the Silver Dollar Nationals. Do you think you have the best chance right now to be the first guy to go and win 2 Silver Dollar National titles?
Absolutely, yeah. We really felt we were strong last year. We really feel like we've been so close. It's just like, the 6 car has been really good. I think they fell into something that has been making them run good. And we just, again, we're back to work at it. We're still very close. And I think the things that I'm working on right now are going to put us back on top.
You really had them covered last year at the Silver Dollars. That setup going to be your base setup, or are you coming with a totally different game plan?
I'll have that one, and I'll have my new stuff I'm working on, and we'll just see how it goes. But yeah, that was a good deal. Last year we were good, and that place gets so slick that's not generally been the forte of the competition lately. So I think we're still the one to beat.
How much does a track change? We'll take I-80, for instance. You guys were there last year in July. Now you'll come back. How much does a track change over a year?
Not a lot. Not a lot. It's the dirt still from the same country or the same area. There could be some things in the track in its preparation. It could be rougher, could be smoother. You just in that area you never know. But as far as the level of traction available, it's going to be pretty much the same. It's an excellent racetrack, and if you're fast, there's nobody going to hold you back. So that's one thing I do love about the place. Yeah, it's a very good racetrack. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, the one variable I know that can play a lot of games with you is the weather. So, if it gets real hot or does a ton of rain or something like that.
And we've had that.
Yeah, and it's been an exceptionally wet spring. Had a lot of races we thought were going to rain out, and they left tracks with cushions, and it's been a little different spring, and now we're into summer. I think it's probably going to dry out a little bit. It's going to be back to racing on the slick conditions that we're used to, and weather does play a big effect, though.
All right, we're going to take a little break. We're going to let Scott catch his breath. We're going to come back into turn number 3. We got a lot more questions to talk to with Scott Bloomquist, driving the number 0 car. You can catch him at I-80 Speedway, July 17th and 18th for the Silver Dollar Nationals. This is The Front Stretch on AM 590, Omaha's ESPN Radio.
Thank you, Ryan Gustin.
Are you looking to book your next outing? Look no further than Joe's Karting in Council Bluffs. Located just north of Bass Pro Shop, Joe's Karting can handle outings of well over 100-plus people. Bachelor parties, corporate outings, team building, birthday parties, and much more. Give Buddy a call today and reserve your outing. Joe's will even work with local restaurants to cater your event. Book yours today at joeskarting.com. That's karting with a K. It's time to get to Joe's and find out what everyone already knows.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak and Lube.
Quaker Steak and Lube is the official watering hole for the Front Stretch and the best place to catch all the NASCAR action today. Open at 11 a.m. with delivery available to Council Bluffs.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak and Lube.
Feather the brake and get back to the gas. Dan and Dirk are headed into turn 3 on the Front Stretch.
Welcome back to the Front Stretch, heading into turn number 3, brought to you by Creative Element. They are the miraculous workers behind getting the Front Stretch up on our Facebook page and up on YouTube every single weekend. They do great work over at Creative Element. You can check them out today, creativeelement.com. That's creative with a K. They'll take care of all your videography, social media, website development, and so much more. If you want to see any of their work, head over to joeskarting.com. And again, karting with a K. No connection there. They just happen to like that spelling C's with K's. But head over to creativeelement.com. Creative with a K, and get some great information on there. And honestly, if you're a rising star in the dirt world, they're the ones you would want to jump on board and help you with your social media and make sure everything's taken care of. They do an absolutely fantastic job. All right, let's talk. We're continuing our conversation with Scott Bloomquist, driver of the number 0 car. Scott joins us back on the phone now. Scott, you love to separate yourself and stand out at the track. With social media these days, is it harder than ever to stand out?
If you're talking about separate yourself from the competition, no, not really. I think I probably socialize more than I ever have in my entire career, but still not too deep. Don't get into discussing suspension things too deep, tire things too deep. Anything that you work really hard on. Every racer's enemy is their own mouth, and their need to have someone else think they're smart and to tell what they learned, even from someone else, because they want to be in a social clique at the racetrack and hope that someone else will give them some information if they tell everything they got from someone that person might have expected them to keep to themselves. Mm-hmm. It's really a social cesspool as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Nobody has the confidence or ability, because most of them are riding off of something someone else designed or created anyway. Mm-hmm. And so they just all gather together and hope the wolf don't get them again,
I guess where I got that question from when we talked to you back in 2013 for the Legends of the Dirt series, you were talking about switching from the 18 to the 0 car because there was beginning to be a lot of number 18s out there. People were copying your car designs, your paint schemes and that stuff. So you switched to the 18, you simplified everything, and you kind of rebranded yourself. Now with social media out there, it makes it easier for every Tom, Dick, and Harry who's got a car to copy you. So does it make it harder for you to stand out in that sense?
Well, not necessarily. I trademarked the number design and trademarked no weak links and my skull design that we did. And so I managed. This time I was smart enough to trademark that stuff, and I've stayed with it. And, no weak links, it began in my mind about people. And, that was before the Weakest Link TV show and all that stuff. I just hit me one day, and that's when I trademarked that. It's like, really, but it applies to everything. It applies to products. It applies to, a football team. It applies to your team's only as strong as the weakest link in it, and just like your engine, just like your race car, just like your crew. And, it just takes one person not doing their job or forgetting something to make the entire weekend a complete loss. And so, I think that's branded myself. It's about strength, and that's what we try to always portray. I know that no one's going to copy that. I've seen some people on a lower level in go-karts and other things, but most of the time I can put out a cease and desist and stop them because I do have a trademark. And I think anybody that comes up with anything that's marketable or substantial to their image needs to trademark it.
Yep.
and maintain that because people will attach to it. And even just like race car ideas, if they copy it first, they're going to be the one to say they thought of it.
Yeah. And the other reason why I thought of that question is because we have a local stock car driver here that kind of copied your paint scheme, your number, and a lot of that stuff. And he was actually contacted by your camp to send pictures to see if that was trademark infringement. I don't believe anything happened of it, but I mean, it was just kind of one of those things that I thought, well, I know going back and listening to the interview that you like to separate yourself. You like to be easily recognizable on the track, which is good for marketing and good for social purposes. So I kind of wondered if maybe that's starting to pop up more and more.
Yeah, and there's probably a lot more of it going on that we haven't seen. If someone is doing it and I see him at a racetrack or I see pictures, or we'll send a letter out and say, hey. But the biggest thing with me is as long as it's not in my arena. Mm-hmm. The lower level or lower classes of racing, it just, I guess they say you're supposed to be flattered by people copying you, but
yeah.
Overall, too much work's gone into it, and I do like to maintain an image that's not confused or not even done to the level that I do it. You might do it, but you don't do it to the level that I would approve, and that just takes away from it.
You said you're a creative guy, so any thoughts of rebranding yourself one more time?
I think the number 0 and triangles, there'll be different colors come down and go through the shop that we'll play with, but the 0 and there might be some different stuff. One thing, the skull and the 0, that won't change.
That's staying the same.
Hopefully the sponsors we've got, I've got some good help now. Hopefully they won't change. I've got more help now than I've ever had since I've been racing. So, it gives me the ability, to probably try to get a little more help and just keep digging down and working out there. And that's absolutely what it takes. Racing is always about it's finding advantages and then getting everything out of your car that's in it. I always say, there's no reason to even look at trying to break the rules. If you could get 100% out of what's in the book, at what is legal, you'll win them all. So I don't think anybody gets 100%.
Hey, Scott, you mentioned your sponsorships there. What is the weirdest sponsorship request that you've ever had?
The weirdest. I wouldn't call it weird. I had someone contact me. Well, I'll say I had someone contact me having something to do with Hustler stores.
And you said no?
And I said, I've got a wife and a daughter. And I don't really think that's probably going to be something for me right now.
Oh.
Maybe at one time it might have, but even then, you got to look at your fan base, and not that that's a problem. I just know in East Tennessee, and with my wife and with my daughter, I don't see that as being something for me. Again, when I was younger, I probably would have just said, why not? Just do it.
Sign the check.
Yeah, just as long as I don't have time to go to the stores anyway, so it really wouldn't matter.
When can I bring my car for the first appearance?
Yeah. Back then, a long time ago, I wanted to know how much the check was going to be so I could use it to go faster.
Yeah. Hey, you go around to a lot of these races. Obviously, there's a ton of races on the 2015 schedule for the Lucas Oil late models. You do your own Renegade racing. Every once in a while, hit off weekend races. But when you show up to a track, is there one thing that is at the track that just makes you feel like you're about to have a good weekend? Is it something like shore power? Is it discounted food for drivers? Is it discounted pit passes? Is it a concrete parking spot? Is there something that just makes you think, oh, okay, this is a good, I'm excited about this weekend? I think it's more about the personalities of the people at the racetrack, that, whether it's employees or who runs the racetrack, just how welcome they make you feel. I think that means a lot. And I don't go to racetracks looking to make friends per se, but when some of my sponsors get to come to the race and they're there, that does energize me a little bit. And, that's always a plus. The more people that care about you surround yourself with, I think the more successful you'll be. What's your favorite thing to do outside of dirt racing? Well, actually, it's probably a bad habit. I do like stopping at casinos. Okay. And
hey, we got those up here.
All the whistles and bells take my mind off. It's hard for me to turn my brain off on race cars, and constantly, I love designing and thinking about better ways of doing things, and that's something that when I get there, even though a lot of people like to play cards and play other things, and when I go, I don't like to think. Even blackjack, I don't want to think. I just want to sit and the machines and play slot machines, and it takes my mind away and actually relaxes me and clears my head. But other than that, I have to go to the lake. I love to fish. Probably fishing, and used to be surfing, but you're a little old for that and don't live in the ocean, so that's kind of difficult. When I used to go to Australia, I'd spend the whole time surfing. But I like to do a lot of things. My shoulders are injured right now, so I used to enjoy golfing, and hopefully when I find some time, I'll get some surgery on my shoulders and get back up to par on that. Yeah, you were talking. I'm sure when I get older, I'll golf. You were talking about that back in 2012 when we talked to you for the Legends of the Dirt Series. You still haven't got that rotator cuff fixed? Well, the left shoulder is a rotator cuff, and the right is a rip in the actual shoulder muscle that's an inch wide. And the right one probably bothers me more with the tear. I had been getting cortisone and whatever shot it is that you can get to. And it'll take it away for a while. This year, I usually get one before I go to Florida, and I elected not to this year.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's bothering me. They're both bothering me a little bit more now, but as long as we don't run on too rough and too nasty a racetrack, they don't bother me too bad. But when both injuries happen to me, then lift my arm up and get a glass out of the cabinet. So, I recovered very well. It still limits me, though. I'm not going to be doing any surfing or golfing anytime soon.
Well, I know that slot machine don't bother those shoulders, but I know what you mean about getting in there and being able to relax. Those machines don't care who you are. They don't care if you just won the dream or didn't even go. You're just there playing, and they don't mind. And
there is plenty of distractions at a casino.
Oh, yeah.
They do a very good job about that.
Well, I can't even, I can't even sleep without a television or something. And the more interesting that something is on television, the quicker I go to sleep because it gets my mind off of racing and off other things. And if it's a piss poor show, then I sit there and it just toss and turn. It's like, my God, but it's hard to turn it off.
Yeah.
My mind is, it's just kind of in my makeup. I refuse to lose, and if I'm losing, it's not real enjoyable around here for anyone. But I'm not a poor sport, and my hat goes off to people that work hard, and I just know I need to work harder.
I got to imagine you've woken up more than a few times in the middle of the night and thought, ooh, I'm going to try that setup. Oh, I'm going to try this. Let's try, little things that have come to you in dreams.
I woke up under my race car. I actually woke up under my car.
No kidding.
When I've had problems, and anymore, not so much being married, but when I was younger and wasn't, when I had problems, and I'd be under the car, and I'd just be there and just think and I'd fall asleep. I remember I woke up, about 4 or 5 in the morning, and the problem I had came to me. And when I woke up, I was excited. I went, that's it. I know what to do. And I got up and I went to work. And by the time the guys that worked for me got there, I already had it mocked up. And that night we were at track testing, and it was worth 2 tenths. And we went on a tear after that.
Wow.
So, it's something that, take that stuff to bed with you. And you just got to have a good mechanical mind. You got to know what you're trying to accomplish, and it's out there. And that's what we're working on right now. I think that we've got something that is going to turn the tide again.
I'd love to keep talking to you, but eventually I got to let you go so you can work on your race car.
Yeah, that's what I was in the middle of. We were going to try to go test. We're going to try to go test tonight, and they canceled on us. So we're not going to get to, but I'm still confident enough in what we're doing that we're going to do, run it some this weekend up at Lernerville. And I think we're going to do it with pretty good success.
Can Scott Bloomquist defend his title at the Silver Dollar Nationals? You'll find out July 17th and 18th at I-80 Speedway. Scott, love talking to you. Can't wait to talk to you again. Have a good one, man.
Sounds good. You guys take care.
Thank you.
Thanks, Scott. Good luck at Lernerville.
All right. Thank you.
But man alive, I can't say it enough. I'm so impressed.
You got a man crush.
Well, I'm just so impressed. I do. I really do.
Man crush.
God, any drivers that are listening to this right now, we just talked to one of the winningest dirt late model drivers for 30 minutes. And most of these guys, their PR guys say, you got 8 minutes, and that's all you got. And I'll push it to 10 because I've got more questions and the answers are flowing. But 30 minutes with one, he's just such and if you're trying to succeed in this sport, go back and listen to this interview and take for what he said to heart. The reason why he's so successful is not because he's the most well-funded or the most well-sponsored. It's because that guy freaking hates to lose. He sleeps. He dreams about it when he actually gets to sleep. I know. I got a man crush. So what? All right, let's take a break. We'll come back at turn number 4. We'll wrap this baby up. Thanks for hanging in with us. This is The Front Stretch on AM 590, Omaha's ESPN Radio.
We have all been there before. Broken car part in your hand and some snot-nosed punk behind the counter has no idea what he's talking about, but he guarantees that this part will fix your car. You pay an arm and a leg for the replacement, get it home, and sure enough, it doesn't fit your car. Now, learn from your mistake and give an experienced salesperson at Kosiski Auto Parts a call today at 402-731-4592. Kosiski Auto Parts will get you back on the road with your arms and legs still attached.
Joe's Karting in Council Bluffs has taken a page out of IMCA's rulebook and gone crate. These brand new low-emission engines will still have you white-knuckling it all through the Metro's fastest indoor facility. Joe's Karting is now friendly for all skill levels with their brand new Honda-powered engines. It's time to get to Joe's today and find out what drivers like Jack Dover, Shaylee Bate, and Andrew Kosiski have known for years. Located in Council Bluffs and online at joeskarting.com. That's karting with a K.
It's checkers or wreckers as we enter turn 4 on the front stretch, presented by Joe's Karting in Council Bluffs.
Just about ready to wrap this baby up on the front stretch, heading into turn number 4, brought to you by Quaker Steak and Lube in Council Bluffs. This coming Wednesday, Bike Night makes its epic return. Live music kicks off at 7 o'clock, and then on Thursday, Classic Car Cruisin', where you can donate to the Drive Out Hunger Foundation, presented by Midas. For every $1 you donate for the 50-50 raffle, it feeds 5 meals right here in the Midwest. The Drive On Hunger is a foundation that Midas in the Midwest started, and they contribute to the Omaha Food Bank and local food banks so that our money isn't going nationally to other states that need it. It's right here in Omaha. Your dollars stay locally, and that's at Classic Car Cruisin' every Thursday night. You can also register to win a Napa Toolbox, and you can come meet Steve King from CD 105.9. And not to mention all the terrific food that goes on at Quaker Steak and Lube. And Monday nights are kid nights. I don't know if you ever see, if you get a chance to like their Facebook page, they've got some really fun pictures they post every week of Monday night being kids night, and they have a balloon, what do you call them, balloon maker? Is that, I'm drawing a blank here. Is that it?
Clown that plays with the balloons.
He's not a clown, but he blows at the balloons and then makes them into, God, the things he makes them into is just amazing. And then Tuesday night is all you can eat wings. Wednesday night bike night. Thursday night Classic Car Cruisin'. Friday, Saturday regular great specials, and Sundays, days like today, you can catch all of the action for the Toyota Save Mart 350 at Sonoma on Fox Sports 1 and PRN at 2 o'clock today, or you can catch them on the big screens down at Quaker Steak and Lube. Other things to talk about, the Carrie Orozco Carry On Family Benefit happens today at the Ralston Arena, and as we wrap up here in about 10 minutes, the 3K walk, 5K run will kick off at about 9 a.m., and that lasts till about 11. It starts at the Ralston Arena, and it ends at the Ralston Arena, and then at 11 o'clock, they start off with raffle, live music, food, silent auction, community fair, kids' activities, entertainment, and beverages. Now, it's $5 for kids, $10 for adults, and $25 for the family to get in. Tickets are available at the door. Live music will be performed by Justin I'm going to say his name, Furstenfield. He's the lead singer of Blue October. Also, Torn, Envy, and 6 Degrees West will be performing live at the Ralston Arena today. Proceeds will benefit several of Carrie's favorite foundations, and you can get more information at carryonbenefit.com. KERRIE onbenefit.com. We'll put a link to it up on the Facebook page here in just a moment. While we do have a few minutes left, one of the big conversations that kind of exploded in it's been a touchy subject since they made the announcement. What was it, on Tuesday? I think I sent that to you, or Monday or Tuesday, when NASCAR put out their statement regarding Confederate flags. And I'm going to pull it up real quick and just kind of talk about it a little bit. And Dirk, go ahead. And you and I posted about it on the Front Stretch Facebook page, and it kind of got to be a little bit of a heated conversation. But frankly, I think people aren't paying attention to what NASCAR said. Now, here's the actual statement from NASCAR. As we continue to mourn the tragic loss of life last week in Charleston, we join our nation's embrace of those impacted. NASCAR supports the position of South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley, who took on the Confederate flag on Monday. As our industry works collectively to ensure that all fans are welcome at our racetrack, NASCAR will continue our long-standing policy to disallow the use of Confederate flag symbol in any official NASCAR capacity. While NASCAR recognizes that freedom of expression is an inherent right of all citizens, we will continue to strive for an inclusive environment at our events. Reading between the lines, if you're a fan, you can continue to fly your Confederate flag. Oh,
absolutely. They'll be all over the infield, on all the campers, all the pickup trucks. All that stuff's going to be fine. You can have it on your T-shirt. It's just that NASCAR is not going to allow it on anything. Not that I don't believe they have it on anything currently. And if you read further into the statement where it gets into the ISC, which is a subdivision of NASCAR, they will not allow any Confederate flags to be sold at any of the events.
ISC, Iowa International Speedway Corporation President John Saunders says, we join NASCAR in support of South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley's position on the Confederate flag. ISC strives to ensure all fans are welcome to enjoy our events and maintains an inclusive environment at our facilities nationwide. ISC will continue our longstanding policy to prohibit the sale of Confederate flag material on our properties.
Now, that's, and me personally, that's where I think the line kind of got crossed a little bit, even though it kind of sounds like they're apologizing for doing it, and they know they are doing it. But, they're telling somebody what they can sell or not sell. Now, me personally, I don't ever recall seeing a Confederate flag for sale at any of the trailers and concession stands or anything that I've been to. I'm not saying they're not. I've just never seen it. And I just can't imagine it's a huge seller.
Right. And I think, to me, this seemed like, and again, they said longstanding policy. So take that for as whoever, I don't know how long it has been, but they say longstanding policy. I think this was just something that they were reaffirming a stance at a time when it behooved them to reinforce a stance and a policy and to say this has been something we've been doing for a long time and we will continue to do it and we will enforce it now because racial tensions in this country are becoming kind of high. You don't see it a lot in the Midwest, but Boston, Cincinnati, there's been several riots in the last 6 months based on race. So it's whether you agree with it or not, it's a hot button issue, and NASCAR's being a little proactive about it.
Well, and they're jumping on the bandwagon. Trying to say, at least we support this side. They're taking a stand at least.
Yep. And if the NFL taught us anything last year during the 2014 season, it's that you got to take a stance.
Absolutely.
You can't remain silent because silent is guilty. And NASCAR and NFL walked away with a pretty black eye after the whole. And I'm sorry, that's a horrible pun. But after the whole Ray Rice incident, when they knew about it and they covered it up and they didn't do anything about, and whatever. So,
and then the Adrian Peterson deal got overturned in court.
And listen, we're not going to make this into a political show. Dirk, if you want to make a rebuttal on this, you're more than welcome to, and we're going to wrap it up at that. But the Confederate flag stands for one thing in my eyes, and that's slavery. It was the banner for the South, who was fighting for slavery, as opposed to the North was fighting for freedom and inequality for all. Now, even though the North won, they still didn't get freedom and equality for all, but I know that the Confederate flag stands for a lot more. To a lot of people in the South, it stands for rebellion, and that's what the South's all about. They love to be rebels. They love to be, Scott Bloomquist is a bit of a rebel himself, but it's got a negative connotation to it, and above all else, when anybody sees the Confederate flag, they think slavery. It's an extreme contrast, but when you see the Nazi flag, you think the Holocaust, and you think horrible, horrible things when you see that Nazi swastika. And it's the same thing with the Confederate flag. And NASCAR is just simply not going to stand for what the Confederate flag stands for above all else.
Well, and NASCAR's also started, they started in the early 2000s, they started with their diversity program. Mm-hmm. And, it's worked over to where it's drivers, it's inside NASCAR with officials and the people they're hiring. So it's something they've taken very seriously. So, again, it's something they're trying to put people's mind at ease.
Yeah. All right, and that's enough of that subject. I apologize if we upset anybody with our views. We try not to get political on this show, and we try to make it lighthearted and fun. So we'll get back to it here in just a minute. While we got a little bit of time left in the show, the June Jamboree happens today at I-80 Speedway. A-Mods, B-Mods, Grand National Stock Cars, Hobby Stocks, and Sport Compacts. Green flag at 6 o'clock. There's a special purse for all classes. Pit passes are available for $30. General admission gets you in at $10 for adults, $5 for kids between the ages of 6 and 12. And if you have a kid under 5 years of age, you get in for absolutely free. That's the June Jamboree going on today at I-80 Speedway. Again, green flag at 6 o'clock. The Carry Orozco organization, the Carry On benefit goes on at the Ralston Arena today. The 3K walk, 5K run kicks off here in just a few minutes as we wrap up the show. And then the benefit carries on from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. tonight. So make plans to get out there. Dirk, any plans for the 4th of July before we talk to everybody again?
I'm going to watch my friends drink lots of beer.
Anybody going to get caught on fire?
Probably not. We're pretty good with that. I mean, I grew up in an era where you saw people losing thumbs and fingers all the time. And
3 years in a row, my family has had an incident with fireworks. You know, those big box consecutive fireworks you can buy. The first year, we were sitting on gravel 30, 40 feet away from the crowd. It launched one and then fell over and pointed right at the crowd.
Cool.
So the next year, we set up boards. We drilled it in with decking nails, big long screws. The whole thing fell over and shot at the crowd. And last year, I don't know what happened with one of the mortar shells, but it exploded. My dad caught on fire. My niece burnt her. I mean, it's just been horrible. So I think we're going to set up like some sort of plexiglass.
And what town are you in?
We're going to be outside of Red Oak. So
okay, I'm staying away from Red Oak.
Have a happy, safe, and 4th of July. We appreciate you guys sticking around and talking to us. Thank you so much to Scott Bloomquist for taking so much time out of his day to talk to us. I'm not going to man crush on him. I'm done. We'll be back next weekend to do it all again. So far on the show, Rodney Sanders has agreed he's going to come on to talk to us about defending his USMTS Casey's Cup title at the Silverdale Nationals. We will try to get Ryan Gustin on the show. We'll just see how that goes. We'll be back next weekend to do it all again. Dirk, have a good 4th of July.
You too, Dan.
This is The Front Stretch on AM 590, Omaha's ESPN Radio.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak and Lube.
Quaker Steak and Lube is the official watering hole for The Front Stretch and the best place to catch all the NASCAR action today. Open at 11 a.m. with delivery available to Council Bluffs.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak and Lube.
Are you looking to book your next outing? Look no further than Joe's Karting in Council Bluffs. Located just north of Bass Pro Shop, Joe's Karting can handle outings of well over 100 plus people. Bachelor parties, corporate outings, team building, birthday parties, and much more. Give Buddy a call today and reserve your outing. Joe's will even work with local restaurants to cater your event. Book yours today at joeskarting.com. That's karting with a K. It's time to get to Joe's and find out what everyone already knows.